Okay. Well, it's technically afternoon, so good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
And welcome to Commentary as Magic's stream. Stream? Stream? Is it live?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's technically
All right.
live.
Yes, welcome to our stream on today, Sunday, January 14th.
Yes.
Yes, 2024. We are, as always, Commentary as Magic. I am, as always, Grandpaws.
Big cheese.
Arquette?
And Ivory is
Literally right here.
in the chat. So we are here. And Ivory says suddenly audio. So Ivory is apparently suddenly audio.
Confirmation that it's working.
Quick heads up before we get things started here, because this is being streamed, because this is going to have a VOD on Twitch. Normal streaming.
Etiquette, please. Family
Yes.
friendly.
Don't talk over each other in language, stuff like that. I do have a mic if anyone needs that for offering suggestions. So just let me know and I will come out and grab it to you. Okay, who here has ever played the My Little Pony collectible card game before? Fantastic. Who here would like to play the My Little Pony collectible card game? Excellent. Those of you who did not raise your hands, why are you here? But we're glad to have you here regardless. It's totally fine.
They dragged us.
Okay, that is a good enough answer. This is one of our favorite panels to run. We've done it twice now, but never here in Canada. So welcome to the very first Canadian NLPCCG Design a Card panel. Woo. Ara, do you want to give a little background on exactly what we're going to be doing today?
Well, we don't get to the process just yet.
Not the
do we?
not the process, but just the overall goal of what's going on.
Okay, so as Grandpa's has alluded to, this is a panel where you get to help us design a brand new card that's going to go into a supplement that's going to be released literally the second that we are done with this, because that is the last remaining piece of that supplement.
It's been sitting here waiting for how long now?
Months.
Yeah.
We're not kidding. This was ready to go at Cider Fest, and then they were like, "You aren't cool enough." You know what, though? We are cool up here.
Yeah.
Very cold. in fact.
Very, very cool up here. In 3 layers, still very cool. Because half of us are, yeah. So, it happens.
Okay. So what we're going to do here is, Grandpa's, in a moment, will give you a brief overview of what the philosophy of card design is. Once we've done that, we'll go into a piece where we're going to pick some art, and then we're going to put it on figure out what it does, and then I'm going to put it on a card.
And we're going to do that live. Yes.
Who are you guys?
We are, that's a good question. We are Commentary as Magic, as we said at the beginning. We are a group of players and game designers and other general card nerds who have been playing or involved in the development of the My Little Pony collectible card game from almost the very beginning. We also took over organized play and set design when Enterplay stopped commercially producing the card game back in 2019 and have continued running it through the pandemic and beyond. This is an especially auspicious and important year for the CCG. For those of you who are good at math and have all of your fingers, this is the 10th year of the My Little Pony collectible card game.
I can only count to 2.
Yes, but you need pinkies, fingers. Look what you can do. Yes, look what you can do with your hooves. No? Okay. So this is really exciting. If you would have talked to probably half this community a few years ago and said, "Do you think the game will make it to 10 years?" I don't know if you'd get any number of people that would be saying yes. But here we are. And what's more exciting is seeing more and more new faces continue to come up in person to these events and also online as well. And also the entire Chinese market for buying out every physical product that exists in the world. Thank you. Shout out to the Chinese market. Yep. Appreciate it. Also, your eBay listings may not be worth what you think they are. So just double check that. That's all I'm going to say.
People buy them.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
They,
but they do.
you know what? It's fine.
People pay for it.
You can do it.
Willing and able.
All right. Well, as Arcat mentioned, I'm going to sit here and kind of give. Yeah, I need upsies though.
You want upsies?
I need upsies.
GP needs upsies onto a soapbox.
Okay. Get up on my soapbox here. we don't actually have a soapbox. I really wanted that to be a satisfying. Yeah, that's
Clonk.
fine. Okay, so let's talk about design philosophy here for a moment when we're talking about card game design. There are two different main schools of game design. One of them is called top-down design, and the other one is called bottom-up design. Who is unfamiliar with these terms? Okay, cool. So that's perfectly fine. Top-down design is primarily what we're going to be doing today, so I'll cover that last. Bottom-up design is one where a designer looks at the rules, the mechanics, the crunchy bits of a game, and identifies what type of effects or interactions they think would be good or interesting to put on a card, focuses entirely on those mechanics or the crunchy bits at the beginning, and then once the actual effect of the card is laid out and designed, they try to find some flavor, they try to find some characters or some art or things like that that can be applied on top of it, okay? So bottom-up design, start with mechanics, art and flavor on top. Top-down design, as you might expect, is the exact opposite. We're gonna start with the flavor. We're gonna start with shots from the show. We're gonna start with ideas, emotions that are being conveyed in a scene, something that we feel can be translated to mechanics. And once we have that flavor, the fluff selected, we're going to narrow it down to how could this be represented in the game. Top-down design is often some of the most fun design that exists for a game because you get to think about how can I translate from what is going on in this scene, what's going on in this screenshot, what's going on with these characters and their personalities, and turn it into how does this get represented in game mechanics. If we were to do it the other way around, you'd basically be doing what I do for several hours every night when I get off of work, which is just sit there and stare at spreadsheets the whole time. And I don't even play EVE Online. So. Okay, now, both of these design philosophies serve a place in game design, right? If you have no bottom-up design at all, if you're never focused on mechanics or trying to keep things balanced, you're going to end up with a game that may be very, very flavorful, but may ultimately be unplayable. Because if all you're doing is pulling from whatever the source material happens to be, as far as the flavor, emotions, events that are taking place, there's no guarantee that things are going to be balanced. There's no guarantee that the effects are going to actually be good or meaningful. Things might be really esoteric. So you need a mix of both in order to keep a healthy game. Don't worry about the bottom-up design. We're going to handle that on our end for the most part, but you get the opportunity to do the most fun part here. Because top-down design especially can take advantage of really pivotal moments, right? You find a cool screenshot where there's an animation error and it's really funny. You're like, oh man, that would be great to see on a card. Well, you can do it with top-down design, right? You think about one of the most like heart-wrenching or impactful moments in the show, like when the CMC got their cutie mark spoilers. Is it still a spoiler?
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
The spoiler moratorium is up by years, buddy.
All right, fair enough. Or, fan favorite characters, because we certainly do not have enough Luna cards right now, so I think everyone should be pushing for Luna cards, right? Yeah.
More purple Luna cards.
We'll see. Okay, or just the dankest of memes, because that is one of the fun things about both playing and being involved in the CCG community and also being involved in design is we like stupid humor. It's funny. And being able to actually represent that on a card is great.
I'm not as awful as Silverquill with the puns, but I try.
Yeah. Bugle also says more purple Luna mains.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. Now, bottom-up design is where we can get into kind of new set design elements or philosophies. So like if we wanted to create a new keyword, for example, or if we wanted to create a new mechanic, that is likely the type of design that would be used bottom up, saying, I think this mechanic would be really good to support a set or support a small subsection of cards. Or we might look at the metagame. We might sit there and look at how decks are doing in tournaments. What sorts of decks are winning? What sorts of decks are winning too much?
Kempa Scrubber is being oppressive.
Right. What sorts of decks are not winning and need a little bit of help, but maybe are on the cusp? That's where bottom-up design can come in and can become a Band-Aid. That's not to say that that can't also be done with top-down design. In fact, that was just done last year, which we'll talk about here. Okay, go ahead, R.
So, design a card, as GP has said, is a hallowed tradition, and this goes back into the Interplay era even, where sometimes players would sit there and be like, you know, we really need a card that fixes a hole in the meta. For example, the one on the...
They're right.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're right here. Is an example of bottom-up design. This card fixes a problem in the meta where troublemakers are becoming too much of an issue at the start of the game because there is a main that slams down a troublemaker turn 1 and says no. And this card was quoted verbatim by a playtester and went directly into the set.
That was it. Numbers, bonus, abilities, everything.
The only thing that had to be added to this was the picture, the actual title, and the flavor text. Everything else,
Yep.
just done.
Right. Now, you all did the same thing last year. We had a great piece of art of Silverstream. Everybody loved it. People voted for this. We looked at what was going on in the picture. We considered how this could be represented in game terms. And ultimately, we ended up with a pink card that has interaction with resources, which is not something that really existed in the CCG, or at least not in the recent CCG. And it was great. And I think there's a few people here who have actually been playing pink decks recently. How many of you have been using this card in your
I'm
pink
helping.
decks? Yeah.
I've been running it.
There you go, right? So these are not just silly, okay, cool, we'll print this and then nothing ever happens. No, this is a chance to make an impact on the game. This is very, very cool stuff.
Yeah, and then we have two more examples. One of these was the first design a card where,
That we ran.
you know what, that one's just your fault. That's all I'm going to say about that one.
I mean,
And then the last one here is actually a Continental Championship reward where a player ended up getting the prize for winning the Continental Championship, which is you get to work directly with us to design a card. And the player, I believe, just basically said, I want some Fleetfoot. And here's some, light suggestions towards what it should do. And we came up with a mechanic and some flavor that very just fits her character very well, and I think ended up more than satisfying that player's desire for the card.
Yes, and as she says here, some probably won't get banned.
Probably.
Probably.
unlike other designer cards.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Oops.
So, very, very quick summary of the game in like 30 seconds for those of you who have not played it before. The goal of the game is to use your friends and characters to confront problems and overcome troublemakers to be able to score points. You can play events, which are special effects. You can play resources, which are cards that support your characters, and you can move your characters around. You can play troublemakers to block your opponent, or even to try to earn extra points yourself. It is a point acceleration game. You are building your own point total instead of taking away points from the opponent. Okay? So, if you think about other types of card games like Magic, there are analogs to some of the card types that exist within this game. So for example, friends are basically creatures, right? Events are basically instants or sorceries. Resources are basically artifacts or enchantments. There is no analog for problems. There is no analog for troublemakers. These are unique to this particular game type, okay? Main characters, which we're not going to be designing today, are like commanders, if those of you who have played. Yes, generals, commanders, Elder Dragon, Highlander. Yes. Okay, so who's got an idea for a card? Yeah, everyone? Some of you? Some of you? Put all your hands down. That's not how we do this. That's okay. And we know what your idea is, and the more you say it, the less likely it is it's actually coming up here. Yeah, I know Trixie has an idea
Put
for
your
a
hand
card.
down, Trixie.
Yep. Start us off.
All right, so what we're going to be doing here, on the next slide, I have 9 pieces of art. We're going to vote on which of those pieces of art we want to use. Once we pick the art, we're going to figure out what kind of card this art will go on. At that point, I'm going to fire up Photoshop and InDesign. I'm going to put the art into the template. We're going to figure out what the card does. what its mechanical attributes are, the text on it, what the numbers are, how much it's going to make Grandpa's screen. Once we have that, I will do the...
Yeah.
What's it doing?
Continue. No, you're good. It's
Okay.
good.
Once we have that, I'll do the layout, and like I said, this is going into the supplement that's getting released basically as soon as we're done here.
Yeah, it'll probably be before end of day, so that'll be exciting.
We do need to do a proof run, but it's gonna go fast.
We've got a couple comments from Twitch chat here. Diamond Song saying that she likes hearing me scream, which is unsurprising because it's very funny when I do, and that's why I have specific emojis of me screaming. Bugle asks, do we at home get to vote on art? Absolutely. If you are watching this stream live, please post your choice for art you'd like to see on a card in chat when we get to that moment, and we will be sure to let you know.
All right, one last point of order here. Asking about Trixie gets it... Wait. There's not many...
No.
You know what? I'm threatening to remove Izzy at this point.
I'm sure Cheese is okay with that.
And
No.
Pip. And
No.
Hitch.
He won't remove Zip.
And
He's a cat.
Sunny.
He won't remove Zip.
No, we're adding more
What am
zips.
I saying? Zip is the best.
Yes,
Yes.
Zip is the best.
All right.
That's allowable.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
All right. Let's see some art.
You want to see some art? Who wants to see some art?
All right. There we go.
Oh, I
You don't
guess
get to see
I-
art.
Yeah.
Troll. Okay.
Gotcha.
I like this card.
All right. This is a good card. All right. So, the art that we're going to show here some of these are going to be better suited to certain card types or others. Problems need very wide art. Ultra rares need very tall art, and most cards need kind of squarish art. We can adjust this a little bit in terms of which character within these screenshots do we focus on. You can do wide shots if you need multiple characters. You can focus on events. You can zoom in on one particular pony. But there are only so many pixels, so I can't put Pip on a card. Sorry, she's too small. Our cards so far are all G4.
Ish.
Ish. Okay, fine. And so we pull art typically from the show or from one of the movies. Places that we could use art from but don't are the comics. I will not touch those because those get a little bit too close to like actual copyright problems. Grandpa's won't let me run around with Equestria Girls anything.
Ain't happening. You can blame me for it. It's all my fault.
Have we ever printed a Sunset Shimmer under print and play? In pony
yes.
form?
Yes.
In pony?
Yes. In pony form.
She's right here.
That's fine.
Ah, she is.
Yes.
And there's Brad.
Yep.
There's
Hiss.
no thorax here, so I'm good with this.
Yep.
Fan art. Most artists do not do show style art. Those that do, we would have to go through basically effectively a licensing process to make sure that they're okay with us using their art. And then this starts getting into like a favoritism thing.
It's a little.
Which is kind of sketch.
Yeah.
And we could do artist commissions. However, our friends who are artists have generally quoted something on the order of $100 to do a piece of art in this kind of style that we need, and
Or
that's
more.
yeah,
Like double.
It honestly should be more expensive than that, but
And you know, we tried to say we pay them an exposure, and for whatever reason, they just don't talk to us anymore.
right?
Oh, you did 50 to sales.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's an obvious
Yes, all our sales.
yeah. There's an obvious next question here, which is, well, what about Gen 5?
Yeah. What about Gen 5?
What about Gen 5? We'll talk about
What's
Gen
Gen
5.
I've seen it.
Gen 5 doesn't exist.
Um,
Okay, no, the movie exists.
Okay, sure. So there's obviously two flavors of Gen 5. There's the 2D one called Tell Your Tale, and there's the 3D one that the movie and the various 3D animations. The 3D one is much harder to work with because I am just barely good at running Photoshop. I cannot deal with full 3D. So all of the art from that must be pulled directly from a screenshot with no alterations whatsoever because I cannot fix things in 3D. The 2D stuff would be much easier, and so that is a consideration,
But also looks much worse.
except for Allura.
except for Allura, and whatever the bunny is as well.
No one cares about the bunny.
Bun.
Bun.
Fight words. Yeah. Okay, now who's ready to see some art? Yes.
Oh, wow.
Already up.
All right.
All right.
Well, we've got.
How messed up is your slide?
There we go.
That's
Okay.
so.
That's a little better.
Well, unfull screening it fixed it.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Because
Okay.
you accidentally had.
Okay.
Lol.
There we go. All right.
Gross.
Screenshot number 1.
All right, number 1, pump up the jam. We got Discord busting through a thing. Number 2, I like kites.
He likes kites. She likes kites. They like kites.
Forgot about that.
They both like kites.
Number 3, checking the list. Number 4, actually a lost filly for once. Number 5, wrestling. Number 6,
It's technically a Trixie card.
Yeah, I'll accept this.
technically a Trixie card. Number 7, cut the line. Number 8, couch. Number 9, you did what?
All right. Take a look at all of the art choices that we have for this year up here. Take a look at all of the ones that probably won't be pink. Please don't make a third pink card.
We're not- I know- I don't want
so
pink.
many pink cards. All right. We're going to do this by audio cheering, clapping here,
right.
and we'll take a look at those who are
raise
in
hands.
chat. Okay, yeah, we can raise hands. Hands is good. That's fine. I want noise. It's quiet.
Okay, you also have to make noise.
Okay, you also have to make noise. All right, here we go.
So a couple of things here. Some of these, in particular, number 9 is almost certainly going to have to be a problem. I tried to put this on a friend. It doesn't work.
Okay, so
Discord
yeah.
is very tall. He's usually good for ultra rares. In fact, this would be a great candidate for an ultra rare. Just saying.
Yeah. So the layout of the art on these shots may preclude them to being certain types of cards or certain rarities of cards. Okay, so starting in the upper left-hand corner, number 1, pump up the jam.
Yay!
All right, we have 1 for pump up the jam.
No one likes Discord.
No one likes pumping up the jam. Number 2.
Who likes kites?
All right.
All right.
All right, we got 5 for kites, I think.
3 hands.
3 hands and some clapping. Okay. Number 3, we've got checking the list.
Yo, baby!
All right, we got some bug aficionados here.
The bad kind of bug.
Number 4, actually a lost filly.
I want to find her.
Okay, want to find the lost filly. Number 5, wrestling. Woo! There we go. All right. Number 6, actually a Trixie card, technically.
Yes, please.
This is no longer our fault. I just want to point that out. We gave a fair chance. Number 7. Number
will
7,
actually walk out.
cutting the line.
She left her phone
He'll be back.
because they need it.
Yeah. Cutting the line. No one likes Fluttershy being bullied? Okay, that's fair. Number 8, couch.
Wait, what was I getting?
Yeah. All right.
1, 2, 3, I got
All right.
6. Okay.
We got a couple couches. Number 9, you did what? Okay.
Sorry, we actually had 2
All
for
right.
6.
So looks like
We
right.
had a second vote for Trixie, just so you know.
We did have a second vote for Trixie.
What was 9?
Dynamite?
9 was no one.
No, Crow.
Okay.
No, we had Crow. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's fair. And then we've got 3 for number
This
8
already
as well.
includes the online stuff.
It does. Okay.
Yeah. So we had 3 online votes for 8,
Which is quite a bit.
and then 1 for 4 and 1 for 6.
So I think the 2 highest ones we have right now are 2 and 8. So knowing that those are your 2 choices, let's do this one more time. Number 2, who likes kites? Okay, we got a couple. We got a wishy-washy on the kites thing. That's fine. And number 8, who likes couch? Ooh, it's close. It's close
Well,
here.
but with online, it's,
Yeah, but with
it's like
online,
double.
yeah. Okay,
I think-
so I think couch wins this one. All right. All right.
A vote for 2.
We did get another vote for 2, but there's
It's
still
still like double.
Yeah, we still got like 3 votes for that here.
Okay.
Actually, what do you vote for? I'm abstaining.
I want Queen.
Okay. Well,
no
you
queen.
can't. Well, I mean that one might be queen. You don't know. Any of them could be queen. Queen's right there. She's taking the couch.
I vote for Fluttershy getting bullied.
What? You traitor.
Wow.
Terrible. Okay. So we are working with couch.
Yeah.
All right. what's going on in this picture? Someone shout out what you see that is like an identifiable thing in this shot. Just shout it out. Theft.
Not quite.
I don't think this is theft. I think she actually owned it.
Magic.
Okay. Okay, we've got magic. Eviction. Okay.
Unreasonable rent increase.
Unreasonable rent
Was
increase.
she actually evicted or did she leave? Yeah, she got exiled, right?
Yeah, she did.
She got
Yeah.
exiled.
Okay.
Okay.
I think this would be a problem.
You think this would be a
evicted.
problem?
Definitely a problem, I think.
Okay. So there's a lot that this could actually be. Are you pulling up the art by
Yeah.
itself? Okay. There's magic taking place of
You're gonna get
of the
that
couch being like stuck, right? This could be a problem for sure. As who's ever had to move a couch through a narrow doorway before?
Oh my god.
Would you say that moving a couch through a narrow doorway is a bit of a problem? Yeah, it is absolutely a problem. However, a couch is also a physical object most of the time. And it could be a resource, right? It's a thing. We've also technically had inanimate objects as characters before. So,
Boulder?
Tom, yeah, or Boulder, right?
It could be an event as well.
It could be an event as it's
Greenberg,
getting stuck there.
I think
It's also Autumn Blaze. You know, she's right there, so she could end up being the focus of this instead if we needed to. The active moving could be the focus. So
I
there's
like having the couch as the primary.
the couch is the focus is also funny because we could add the couch trait to resources, which would be especially amusing, or like the
one card
or,
of the
or
trait.
like furniture or something like that. They're difficult to move. Moving day could be an event, as Animoy
A
says here.
troublemaker.
Yep, sounds like the
Yeah,
couch,
the couch is the
the
troublemaker.
couch is the troublemaker. This is also incredibly amusing. I kind of like that idea.
Couch refuses to fit.
Okay, we know this is not going to be a main character, right? We don't have two pieces of art for this. So we've got friend, which would be focusing on either Autumn Blaze or maybe the couch. You'd have to make a really strong argument for that one. Okay. We've got an event with the couch being stuck and Autumn being exiled, right? We've got a resource with the couch itself, right? Furniture, her other stuff. So that's fine. We've got a troublemaker, as Diamond says here in chat. Couch, they're hard to move as the subtitle,
Subtitle.
which is pretty good.
That's-
That's pretty
Why
tempting.
is this turning into a troublemaker?
They're hard to move. Has a couch never given you trouble before? Outstanding. Right? It's
Of
really
all the
good.
directions we predicted this going.
I do not.
This is not one of
This is
them.
not one, but that's okay. And then we have a problem as well, right? Which is obviously this, and this is also a problem. So let's go down the card types, and we'll do hand vote or vote in chat as well. Friend. Okay. Hold on. Are we missing stream? Nope.
No, we're good.
Okay.
I'm just
Friend. No one says friend. Okay. Who says event?
I think the troublemaker.
Okay. We got 2 for event here in person.
I'll add anything.
Okay,
to those.
that's fine. Who says resource? Resource. We got 2 for resources here in person. I hate to ask this.
Problem.
Fine. Who says problem? Okay. Okay, there's a fair number here.
two,
You
three,
can vote more than
four,
once,
five.
by the way. That's fine. We got
I
5.
counted 5.
5 here for problem.
Bugle set event.
Who says troublemaker? Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for troublemaker here.
That's already to count up this,
Yep.
so that-
Diamond says troublemaker, so we got another one, so that's 6.
I'm gonna do.
Practical and sensible choice, but troublemaker is the funny choice.
Troublemaker is
Troublemaker is the funny choice.
Troublemaker is the funny choice.
I need how many people were in.
Troublemaker was 5 in person as well, but then we also have the one in chat. Okay, so I think we're basically between this either being a problem or being a troublemaker. So,
Yeah, they're very close.
Okay, so one more time around, given the choice between either problem or troublemaker, right? Problem being the location in the
And
game.
you can only vote once this time.
Right, and troublemaker being the card that blocks it, right? Who says problem? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 for problem. Okay, who says troublemaker? 1, 2. Okay, looks like it's going to be a problem. All right, we do not have to do a troublemaker here, and Aura is incredibly relieved.
No! It would have been hilarious.
It would have been
Okay.
a great meme. Okay,
Now you gotta figure out what it does.
Yes.
What color is it?
Okay. That's a good.
That's part of that.
That's part of the starting point here. Okay. Now, something that we look at. She's yellow. Yes. Something that we
But
look
doesn't
at is what color is generally assigned to cards. Go ahead.
Yeah, like what like if it's a character, like what is it generally assigned to? And for Autumn Blaze, yeah, it's generally yellow. I think actually all of her cards are yellow.
Yeah, I don't think she ever had a multicolor. I think she was
Shifter or anything. Yeah.
entirely yellow. This is
But
an
that's-
opportunity where you.
Yeah, but that's not required. Like, there's other things going on. Like furniture is generally white.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You know what? If we had this as a resource, just as a funny thing, and we added the couch trait, we could have done Rarity's Fainting Couch later, and then we could have had 2 cards with the couch trait, and that would have been funny. But you know, it's fine. We're neither here nor there. So we've got Ara working on layout right now.
But so then the other direction that you approach color is the ability, and so like you come up with an interesting ability that's pretty tied to a color. Sometimes it's better to just go with that.
So let's talk about what the issue that's being presented here is. What is the problem that Autumn Blaze is facing in this shot?
She cannot move.
She can't move, right? Or she can't move something,
Yeah.
right? The couch is stuck, right? Good news.
Your character.
There's an entire mechanic in this game called moving, where you can move characters around. Less so resources, but still. So
You can move characters with resources attached.
you can move characters with resources attached. So this initially looks like a card that could have interaction with movement or prevention of movement or making movement harder. Okay? What else is going on here? Go on, shout it out. What else do you see?
Autumn is moving at the couch. She's excited.
Autumn is just tired.
Autumn is tired, right? Yep. She's frustrated. This is difficult. The resource is giving her issues, right? The thing is giving her issues.
Being exiled, like she's just, done, I think, and just the couch not moving, she's just like.
Yep.
And then just gives it
Just
up.
exasperated, right? Autumn's getting evicted. All of that is going on. Okay, so go ahead.
No, it's just like from the evicted perspective is interesting. There's some I just was thinking of what's it called? The 5-color reset all problems thing.
Oh,
From a,
fire when ready.
I was just thinking fire when ready from a perspective of like evicted and like going away.
Oh, sure.
Like that's another direction
That's fair.
versus just like hard is moving is hard. Yeah.
Uh huh. That's fair, right? Where's what? Force move? Yeah, it is. That's an excellent point. Autumn's being evicted from her village, right? That is forced movement. This could also tie into forcibly moving characters,
More go
right?
home cards.
Yep, more go home cards. Okay, I already don't like the direction this is going. There's also magic that's taking place here in the scene, right? Magic has historically been purple as well. Forced movement has been purple. Like she says, furniture has been white. Prevention of movement has often been white as well. So those are 2 directions they could go. Autumn is yellow, right? Yellow hasn't had that much interaction as far as making movement harder or making it more expensive or forcibly moving an opposing character, but that's not to say that you couldn't have something that does both.
Yellow
Yeah.
has some precedent in forced movement protection. You can't, what is it?
It's like one
Amity
card.
Ball?
Yeah.
It does have movement for troublemakers.
Yep. Okay, Crow has a suggestion here in chat. When a resource is banished or dismissed, you may move a character from this problem. Okay, so that is a good example of top-down design, right? Because you're thinking about what's going on in the scene. You're thinking about there's one thing that's preventing Autumn from being moved. If you get rid of the couch, Autumn could move, right? Great, good top-down design. It is an effect that is generally going to be either purple or yellow at the beginning as far as a resource being banished or being dismissed. You may move a character from this problem. Worded as is, that could be either blue, purple, or both. So it's going a little wide with the color selection here.
It would be
If you
yellow,
just
purple.
if you just said opposing, it'd be yellow, purple. Huh?
If purple sounds like purple's a common denominator.
That's an option for an effect like this. Okay.
There's two things here. Could you consider making this card interact with sending instead of movement,
Okay.
That's spicy.
including problem replacement?
Okay, so that's also an option, right? A problem being replaced is like a location changing within the game,
Yes.
right? Autumn's moving to a new location, she's being exiled, that fits. For those of you who are not mechanically familiar with this, movement is something that players generally choose to do to their own characters, and sending normally happens as a result of something else that has happened in the game. So when a problem is replaced, when you lose against a troublemaker, things like
Just
that.
make it.
When those cards end up coming home, just make it showy. No, we're not just making a problem with showy.
That already exists like 5 times. It's bad.
It's still
No one
it's
runs any of them.
We have a showy problem. It's down the train.
yes, it's better than showy because it affects all movement. Yes.
Well, with the couch stuck in the door, you can't exactly use it. Could banish a resource while this problem's in play.
Okay.
I
That's
like that exact wording.
while this problem.
Oh, I was thinking like you just randomly banish things, but that is interesting. When it enters play, banish something, and then when the problem leaves play,
Yeah,
it's problem-based resource removal.
that's interesting. We've never seen that before.
No.
Yeah,
Temporary.
temporary. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Who else has thoughts
Banish all.
on what other mechanics are here? People who are familiar with the CCG, who are familiar with mechanics that are in it. This is a chance for you to shine and to offer suggestions. Bugle says down or the drain. So just tax 2. All right.
Sending works really well given the circumstances.
Sending does work really well.
Yeah, something like characters above a certain power can't be sent away from this problem or something like that.
Okay. Do you think that the sending prevention is being represented by the couch or is being represented by Autumn?
I mean,
When you move a character, put a couch token into play. Diamond's really pushing for this. You know what? The rocks are getting harder and harder to find art for, so maybe we do need couch tokens now.
Couch token could be a resource.
Okay.
And the couch token has showy.
And the couch, yeah, there we go. Okay. Crow says, something to obstruct characters from leaving the problem would be thematic, but I'm not sure when it would be relevant.
That's why I suggested sending. That'll be way more relevant than movement.
So like if a character would be sent, or sure, if like a character would be sent away from this problem, something.
That mechanic also fits into what Autumn Blaze colors usually are,
yellow.
Mm-hmm.
which is yellow.
Go ahead.
What if you can banish a resource to avoid being sent away from the problem?
To avoid being sent away from the problem, in this case, the resource is the thing that's preventing her from leaving.
Okay, yeah.
So it's kind of the opposite of that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, that kind of brings me back to a card that existed in Premier Block called Hazmat Suit, right? Which was a resource that, while this character was at a problem, if it would be sent home, it wasn't sent home instead, but because of how the game works, then the resource gets dismissed when the problem is replaced. Anyway, we never changed that, right? We never fixed that?
No, they still get they get removed.
Everything that's on the character there still gets
Yeah,
removed?
all
Which
resources
shouldn't-
are get
I
all
wanna make that not
resources.
I know, I kind of want to make that not happen too, but it is what it is.
That's a pretty big. mechanic
Ivory
change.
says the couch token has in-game text that prevents it from moving. So you just have a couch that you just drop somewhere, and it exists forever. That's actually kind of funny.
I mean, it is funny, but we can.
It's huh?
Drop it at your opponent's home.
And what? And it just eats up home limit? I mean, that's also an interesting idea,
That's
right?
light. That's pretty
Right?
light, though.
The thing that's preventing Autumn from having a bunch of her stuff is she's having to make choices as for what she can take and what she can leave. It kind of fits into the rarity booming business archetype of flood your opponent's home with, garbage, and then. Okay, it's an interesting idea. There is a complicating factor here, though, which is we are working with a problem template. The amount of text that we can actually fit here is
3 lines.
right. It's not a whole lot. So whatever effect we want to add needs to be able to fit within about 3 lines. So right now we've got ideas on putting couches into play that stop movement or eat up home limit. We've got ideas on preventing characters from being sent from problems, right? We've got ideas on using a resource, banishing a resource maybe, having to leave a resource behind.
The other thing about and I think this works is if character to be sent to a location, actually, well, moved or sent, you would need to banish a resource to make it happen.
Characters can't.
Or dismiss or banish. Or
Sure. Characters can't be moved or sent to this.
You'd have to make it like a replacement or something. But yeah, some kind of like you have to get rid of a resource to have movement.
Okay. So this is an idea for direction, right? We've got some resource interaction, we've got some movement interaction or prevention, right? Who thinks this is a direction we should explore? You've got an idea, Max?
Along that line, banish a resource to move something.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that.
Ah.
I think, by Crow.
Okay.
Is that what it was?
Crow said when you move. No, Crow said
Okay.
something to obstruct characters from leaving the problem. When a resource is, you may move a character
You move
from.
a character, remove a couch. Oh no, that's Bugle's thing.
Yeah.
When a resource is exiled or dismissed, may move a character from this problem. That's
Sure.
what was the suggestion.
Or you can banish
Yeah,
Hey,
it's a trigger.
like an increased cost of play resources.
Let's see. When this problem is turned face up, attach a couch. Okay, we're done with couch tokens. We're not going to end up doing couch tokens.
Banish a resource to move.
Are you making a couch token right now?
No,
You like
he's messing with the problem template.
Okay. All right. Probably too much text. Realistically, I think resource control and moving would be viable. Okay. So, Max, you were saying retire a resource to move a character?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe if a character has a hat attached, they cannot be sent home.
Okay.
Or,
That kind of.
We actually already have.
something along those lines of like, if you control a resource here, your characters can't be sent away from here.
Yes.
Any play the problem?
It will be yellow white, right?
Yeah.
That would be LOY.
That would definitely be yellow white. Yeah, because yellow does a lot of like stick things to problems, and white definitely has the resource interaction. Okay, so it could fit in either or both of those colors. All tokens become couches. People are really going hard on the couch.
I know. You've played.
I have played myself. I have Thundercross split attacked myself. That's okay. So the resources, right? When we're talking about resources that often end up at problems, we're talking about two main types of resources. We're talking about what we call hats, which are resources that are played on characters specifically, usually accessories, but not always, right? And then we're also talking about resources that are played on the problems directly. Generally speaking, accessories, hats, see more play, broader play, than resources that are played on problems. Part of the reason for this is that when a problem is replaced, any resources that are at that problem are dismissed by the game. So if you play a resource on a problem and people are pushing to try to have a face-off at that problem or to get it out of the way, you've played the resource and it goes away, so if a resource goes on a problem, it needs to be impactful. This is a card that's also focused on preventing things from going away, preventing things from being switched. So another direction that could be gone is instead of focusing on the character being moved, this could be like a, when this problem is replaced, resources here are not dismissed, or, something like that.
Because they can't move.
Right. This would also require editing the comprehensive rules because the resources
No,
are currently
you-
dismissed by the
you
game
can-
and you can't prevent things that are being
But
done.
it would
illegally.
directly contradict.
And that's true. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway. So let's focus on this. I think everyone is generally on board with this is preventing some type of card from moving or being sent or being removed from this problem. We agree? Yes? Generally? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So we could be talking about moving or preventing character movement, or we could be talking about preventing or causing resource removal. One of the two. So who wants this to be character focused? Who wants this to be resource focused? Okay, we got more interest here on the resource side of things. So who wants this to be about like removing resources? Who wants to have resource removal focused on this? Okay, Cheese wants resource removal.
The bounce thing.
And we
is kind
got
of
we got two
weird.
for resource removal. Who wants this to be focused on like resource protection or prevention from leaving play? All right, we got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got a lot on that. Okay, that's an interesting idea. So if we just had it replace resources being dismissed at that problem that's very niche, it would basically only affect cards that would stay at that problem, right? Go ahead.
Can I introduce a couch counter that you have to remove to protect the resource?
I like it.
Couch
Ship it.
couch counters.
Yep, couch counters.
Fantastic.
Okay,
Okay.
so the half of the reason I'm suggesting this is the other problem
Oh, sure.
does have a counter mechanic on it.
Okay. Oh, so you're being serious about the couch counter thing. Okay.
But it also means that you can limit the, like, from a mechanical perspective, you can limit the impact of this, so it's not just an impenetrable wall of resource protection that you just can't touch.
Okay.
Like while it's in play, resources can't be removed.
Yeah, because that's just like, okay, I guess my game plan kind of goes out the window.
That's an
here.
interesting idea. While this card, so if you wanted it to be limited, go ahead. Was I hearing something? No? Okay. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, while this card is in play, your resources can't be removed, or your resources can't leave play, or something along those lines.
That's the right resource would be removed by sending a character home.
Or at least you have to pay more to have them removed.
Sure. It's a struggle, right? She eventually decides just to leave the resource behind, but she's working with it for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So maybe something that's more global than just location restricted, right? It's a problem. It's fine. But we haven't seen a lot of resource protection. Right now, there's exactly one piece of resource protection that exists in core and two pieces that exist in the entire game, as far as I am aware. And both of them are orange. But they could be a different color. That's fine. We've never seen them on a problem before. Go ahead.
If one of your resources would be dismissed or banished, you may move a character here home instead.
You may send it.
Send.
Send. Okay. 3 in the game. I know Repair Team does, and I know that Rockhoof does. I couldn't remember if defensive position affects resources. I thought it was just friends. Bugle will tell me if I'm wrong. So that's fine. I trust Bugle to tell me when I'm wrong. Okay, so if one of your resources would be dismissed or banished, you may send one of your characters here home instead.
Yes.
That doesn't contradict like stuff being dismissed by the game, right?
It does
Wow.
not contradict stuff being dismissed by the game, so it would not allow you to get around uniqueness.
Right. Or cause problems if something got attached to a fighting friend or anything like that.
Correct, because that is a general blanket statement, not a specific instance. Orange spike main, to be clear. Okay, sure. That was
Okay.
the last one.
What about you can prevent resources from being removed if you pay 1 AT. If you do so, put a couch counter on the AT cost goes up for each couch counter.
3 lines of text, Minty.
Yeah, that was 3 sentences.
Shut. Okay, so
I like the sending home thing.
the sending home thing is interesting, right?
It's kind of the opposite of the flavor, though.
Well, but like you leave the resource
Yeah, but
and then it moves, because like you left the resource there.
she does not move because of the couch. That's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's also the question of, is that an effect that people think would be interesting to see on a card, right? You have an effect that is potentially very powerful, which is preventing your resources from leaving play, which is very strong. We don't see that very often, right? And the cost for preventing this happening is for you to send one of your characters that is physically at a problem, meaning you've had to have additional resource investment, additional action token investment or something into it to get that character there to a problem. And then you send that character home.
Tokens
That's
farm
really
decks.
good for yellow.
Yeah, tokens farm decks might be
Yeah.
very easily able to exploit that.
Okay, that's fair.
Generate a huge pile of tokens at that problem and then just keep there.
Yellow has been getting a large number of impactful resources recently, right? You think about like Diurnal Amulet, you think about stuff like Flutter Swarm, which is a yellow resource that exists in this same supplement set, right? You think about stuff like general resources, Snack Stand, Stick, Spooky Ruins, all of those things are potentially very useful and cards that yellow might consider playing. So, sure, that seems like that might be okay. It's a little off in terms of flavor, but, the resource is still there. The resource is where it was. Your character is just in a different location. So you can apply a bit of flavor on top of that. Now, you mentioned that Yellow Farm might end up liking this, right? Yellow Control might end up liking this. Yellow Control has a tendency to run a large number of resources. Aggro, mid-range, sure, they run resources too. If this is an effect that we want to see add a problem, and if it is something that's going to take place persistently across, a fair amount of the game, you probably are going to want to see this with a higher confront requirement so that it stays in play longer, right? This is not a one-time effect. This is not the card just comes into play and does this thing once and that's the value you get out of it. This is something that you want to take advantage of as much as you possibly can. So, where does yellow currently sit when it comes to confront requirements? Does yellow typically go high? Does yellow typically go low?
Well, they're swaying the sea ponies.
There is swaying the sea ponies
It's mostly
and too many
low.
Fluttershies.
It's
Yeah.
mostly low.
It's both.
It's both, right? We see a lot of 6 requirement problems, but we see a lot of 6 requirement problems for every color, right? So that kind of happens. What may be most important here is to think about what the opposing confront requirement is going to be.
10.
10.
Haven't we seen 10 in a while?
Have we seen 10 on any problem in core? I know we've had 9s.
There is the Sequestria easiest fight. No.
No, that's 8.
No. The one that reduces power of characters.
That's
Pretty
8.
sure that's 10.
That's 8.
Okay.
That's 8 because Buzzer Keep Away is one higher than it. That's 9.
Okay.
And we have seen 9s before. There's 9s that exist. Too Many Fluttershies, I believe, is a 9.
I mean, couches are pretty hard to move. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. 10?
12.
Okay. All right. So let's start with this and we'll go down from there. We are talking opposing confront requirement, okay? Raise your hand if you think the opposing confront requirement should be at this number, 10. Okay, we got 2 people who
It's
really
yellow
want...
white. I mean, it could be hard.
Okay, if you do dual color, sure, it could be
Yeah.
hard. That's fair. Before we touch the rest of the power, it is worth noting, if we make a card dual color, we have done it before, right? It was done on a print and play card before. To the best of my knowledge, that card has not seen any play because you create a niche that is so narrow that only one type of deck is going to be able to run it. Go ahead.
I think it would be better to have, moving to your confront requirement a little bit, to
Okay.
have yellow and not yellow instead of
Yeah.
yellow and white.
Sure, that's fair. That's fair.
We haven't seen not yellow in a.
We saw not
color.
yellow in Fun Memories because that was the cycle we
Yeah.
did for that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's fair.
It's rarely seen, but
Yeah, but we could do that. Okay.
You also have void Torx and slowly
Someone is saying this one goes to 11.
That's us.
Okay.
that was our.
Okay, so we got 2 for 10. For the reference, 10 currently does not exist in core right now. Okay? Who says 9? Okay. Okay. We got 1 for 9. Who says 8? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 8's doing pretty well. 8's doing okay. Who says 7? Lucky 7. Okay, we got 1 for 7. Who says 6 or below?
8.
Okay. Looks like we're probably going to put this one at an opposing confront requirement of 8. And Diamond says 8 as well in chat. Okay, so 8 is good here. Yep. We've got, we got more 8s. Animoy says 8. Bugle says 8. Okay, 8 it is. That's good. We don't have a lot of yellow 8s right now. Let's talk about our own confront requirements, okay? Yellow does like confronting problems. Every color technically likes confronting problems. Some of them more than other. Okay. She says 3-3.
I also like 3-3.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 yellow, 3 not yellow.
Yep.
3 yellow, 3 not yellow. Everyone good with this? okay, means you need to commit to having something else. You can't just get this effect by being yellow by itself. You need colorless or you need another color to be able to make this work, which kind of ties into the idea that this effect was originally orange, right? But we've got a yellow character that's here as well, so it matches the colors well. We've also seen some 3, not 3, or 4, not 2, with 8 on the opposing side that have been printed recently. So that's a good value for problems, right? Like moving out, for example, has 3, not 3, and 8, I believe. Or maybe it's 4, not 2, 8, regardless. That's fine.
You should also not move a couch by yourself.
Mm-hmm. That's true. You also should not move a couch by yourself.
Team
Excellent,
lift.
excellent flavor. Good job.
The flavor text.
And I might suggest 2 yellow.
2 yellow,
2, 4.
2 yellow, 4 not yellow.
No yellow or 4 no yellow, yeah.
Oof.
Okay, so let's start with this. We know we're going to do yellow, not yellow requirement, and I think we're pretty sold on it being 6 total confront requirement for you, 8 total confront requirement for the opponent. Okay? Who thinks it should be 4 yellow? No? Okay. Who thinks it should be 3 yellow? Okay. Who thinks it should be 2 yellow? Okay. Looks like 3 yellow is going to end up taking it. So we'll do 3 yellow, 3 not yellow. Now we have one last thing we need to talk about here, which is the bonus. And
5 bonus.
everyone has to 5 bonus. 5 bonus. All right. Those of you who are familiar with the game know how bonus ends up working. When a player wins a problem face-off at a problem, they score that problem's bonus, or points equal to that problem's. No, they actually do score that problem's bonus. Okay? And there's a lot of thought that's back here. The higher the bonus, the more rewarded players are for trying to start a face-off there, right? The lower a bonus, the less rewarded players are, and the less risky it gets to have that problem out there, right? This is a problem that has a powerful effect while it is in play. There is already incentive for the opponent to try to get this problem out of the way. But it also has a high confront requirement for the opponent, right? Meaning that although they want to get this out of the way, it is going to be difficult for them to have the power required to do so. So there's an argument that could be made between this having a low bonus because there's already incentive to get rid of it, and it encourages players who want to play control, right, to go after it.
Yellow control.
Yellow control. There's also an argument to have this have a higher bonus because it is an obstacle that players already have to overcome to try to get this thing out of the way, right? So we've got 0, 1, 2, and 3 bonus as possible options. I think we're going to go ahead and cap it there, okay? Who thinks this problem should have the highest bonus of anything in core right now? Who thinks it should have a 3 bonus? We have 1 person voting for 3 bonus. We'll see if there's anyone here in chat. Who thinks this problem should have 2 bonus? Okay, 1, 2, okay, 3. We got 3 people saying this should have 2 bonus. That's kind of the like high risk, high reward value of problems, okay? Who thinks this problem should have 1 bonus?
Free couch.
Okay. I also like 1 bonus, okay? We have another vote for 2 bonus here in chat. 1 bonus is kind of the level that's good for slower decks, ones that want to play a bit more control, but you can do aggro. We've got 2 more for 1 here. Who thinks this problem should have 0 bonus?
Of course, you're talking about the biggest back to mark sometime.
Okay.
I like,
And we,
2 at 0.
we got 2 at 0 bonus. We got Bugle also saying 0 bonus. Okay, so we're excluding 3. Everyone vote once this time, okay? Starting at the highest. High risk, high reward. 2. 2 bonus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 here. 1 bonus. 1, 2, 3. I'm also voting this. 4.
also voting.
Yep. And then we'll see chat. Who says 0 bonus? Okay, 1. Bugle says we've never had a 0 bonus yellow problem before. Technically true, which is why he's sticking with 0. Okay,
-1? I agree with that.
-1. we've got another 1 here.
I think it's still tied.
It is-
if you just
Yeah.
Assume Diamond and Crow didn't change.
Yep. And
And
Animoy's
also
still in
one
there.
to break the tank.
Okay, so
I'm gonna vote for 2.
So between 1 and 2.
Route 2.
I don't know.
Route
Is
two.
this a control problem? Or is this
This is a control problem.
Well, so that's
I don't
one of
think anyone will run
yeah, I
Route
think this is
two.
a control problem.
yeah, that's one of the
Which
considerations.
wants
here
1?
is-
I just don't know if the benefit of the problem is enough.
yeah.
I don't
but
actually care if it's 1 or 2.
I think that this should be a 1 because you want this. You as a player that is running this want this to stick around.
Yes.
So you do, but in order to run this in a control deck, you really do not want to see a 2 bonus problem unless it has
Yes.
got a really good effect on
And
it.
the effect is the incentive enough.
Yeah.
Like, as an opponent, I would want to get rid of this SAP no matter what the bonus is.
This is true. You think about the other yellow problems that exist in core right now, and there are plenty of options to run high bonus yellow problems that have lower confront requirements to push aggressively.
Yeah,
Right.
because if you're going to ask for high confront requirements, you do need to have a decent bonus on it.
Yeah. Animoy says today I learned the font for bonuses is called Hobo Standard.
Yep.
So now you know. Okay, so I think we're going to go with 1 confront or 1 bonus for winning this problem based on the votes. It was real close though. It was very, very close. 1.75 bonus, yes. Okay, if one of your, so let's review this from the start. We have a problem that is couches are hard to move, right?
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah, it's Chesterfield.
Oh, the type of couch.
Yeah, but that's not in the song lyrics. It requires 3 yellow and 3 not yellow for you. It requires 8 power for your opponent. It has a bonus of 1, and it says if one of your resources would leave play, you may send one of your characters at this problem to your home, or send one of these characters at this problem home instead.
I wrote something down.
To
It
your
says
home.
to your home.
To your home. Something to that effect.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Hithrock.
Might-
I see we have a little bit more text space. Could we let the opponent choose where the character goes?
That's so much worse. So much worse.
Is it?
It's very.
It's
It,
still gonna be home most of the time.
We could make it random.
Ooh, but then it'll be
Yeah,
pink.
yellow
Yeah.
random is weird.
yeah, yellow random's weird.
Are you
other
implying?
colors have had random.
Yeah. Is there a case for making the effects symmetric? It's kind of focused just on one
Usually
particular
symmetric
character.
problems are-
Yeah. Okay. As Bugle points out, the name has not been voted on. So I think the line was, I packed my stuff, but what was it? Something, I left the couch, they're hard to move.
There's
This is not.
there was
a,
some extra word there. but
Yeah.
This is not a song.
Okay. So I came here but left the couch alone, they're hard to move, was the lyrics. Bugle's got that there.
This could have been a Trixie card.
This could have been a Trixie card. Okay, we have 1 vote, and exactly 1 vote for this could have been a Trixie card.
Hashtag free
We have
couch
0 votes
tokens.
for everything else.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's
So
one-
that
So,
wins.
so technically that is winning. Other suggestions?
Hashtag free couch tokens.
Free couch
you
take.
could just call it hard to move.
Okay. We've got
It is a fitting name for a problem.
hard to move. Okay.
Except for the car, except for it moves
That makes
things.
it more
But
general, I think, 'cause it's
Well-
easier, because with other resources that could be.
Moving. I believe we have moving day already as a card. I think.
So I came here but left the couch alone.
Okay.
yeah,
They're hard to move.
They're hard to move.
They're hard to
Okay. Other thoughts?
I think hard to move is actually good.
I think Trixie Lane.
The couch is an example, but you can have.
So the one disconnect there is this effect is creating not movement but sending already,
Hard
right?
to remove.
Huh? Hard to remove. That's pretty funny. Moving day. I was pretty sure moving day was already a
Pretty sure
card.
that's already a card.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's the blue card. So I think that one's already taken. Max, Cursed.
It's named moving out, I believe.
Oh, it is moving out.
Moving out too.
Moving out too. We have a problem called moving out. So moving
Like
day.
Google?
Moving day is open, right? Sudden eviction, right? Or eviction notice, something like that.
that is.
Technically, it's exile. Sudden
thing.
exile.
Yeah, eviction notice.
That was a thing.
I think it's been like a playtest title. Full send.
She got exiled.
Full
not
set.
evicted. She got exiled from the entire town.
Uh huh.
Moving day is the
Okay.
Well, after the shakes.
Okay. Moving day. Votes for moving day? Okay. You got a couple? It's kind of like, okay. People can.
What do people think about the original? What R had? The couches are hard to move.
Or some variant thereof.
Everyone's just gonna call them couches.
Okay. Couches are hard to move.
Yeah.
Okay. Cumbersome couch. Okay, that's a good one from Diamond.
I like that.
Yeah, cumbersome couch is pretty good. Okay. So we've got couches are hard to move versus cumbersome couch.
Everyone loves alliteration. CC.
Yeah.
Cumbersome Chesterfield?
That couch.
No.
That's actually not alliteration.
The song is called A Cure and Tale, so maybe a couch tale. Okay. So let's do couches are hard to move. Vote. Okay, we got one. Cumbersome couch. Vote.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. Cumbersome couch. All right.
I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think that's it. All right. Good job, everyone.
Yay!
Yay. Yay. Good job. And thank you to everyone there who contributed online as well. That is great to see. That's going to be interesting to see what that ends up doing.
So now we need to add everyone's name to the card.
Yes.
Oh yes, there is.
Don't we
one
generally just put like design a card?
there is
on
one.
the,
There is one important thing to do here. Yes, that's true.
What rarity is this?
That is a good question. Resource prevention is a powerful effect, right? But it is on a problem.
Uncommon.
Problems are notoriously difficult to be able to get consistency on because that deck is always random with very few effects that can manipulate it. Uncommon?
Rare.
Uncommon? Rare?
I think this is a rare.
I like rare because just the numbers.
Okay.
I'd like to see this more in limited. I think uncommon is fine.
Super uncommon.
You don't run resources in limited. This will never be relevant.
Yeah, you do.
Don't you now?
I don't.
Oh, well,
But
draft more
if
resources.
it's rare, you can't put this in pauper.
That's true.
Really?
Okay. I think everyone agrees that this should not be ultra rare. We've never had a super rare problem.
Royal rare problem.
We've never had a royal rare problem.
Ultra rare problem. Make
Yeah.
it happen.
Ultra rare. And it probably shouldn't be common either.
Fire when ready.
So we'll go uncommon versus rare. This is mostly going to be relevant in pauper and mostly relevant in limited. So who says uncommon? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who says rare? All right, looks like it's uncommon. All right, and are you adding the last thing on there?
I'm trying to fix something here. Yes. Hold on.
Okay, give us 1 sec. We've got to add credits.
Oh, is that native Cam French?
Yep.
Oh yes,
Nice.
that one. Uncommon. Yeah, we've got more votes for uncommon here in chat coming through as well.
This is undesign.
Yep. 1 vote for rare. You got it? Okay. Well, we'll deal with it later because we're running a little tight on time. But we will have this up hopefully later today. Is the hope, so people can see it. We'll make sure that the wording functions within the rules. The whole group here at the convention will get credit for this. Thank you, everyone, for contributing to this. This is the first Design-A-Card problem that has ever been made, which is very, very cool. It's the first yellow that's ever been made. Yes?
Sorry, I requested other wording. It is one if a resource would be removed, right?
If one of your resources would
Yeah.
leave
We'll-
play.
We'll,
In the case of mass removal, you get multiple triggers.
Correct.
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. And we'll, like, we do need to go through a pass in the wording, but we're not going to do that here.
Yeah.
But we know what, like, we figured out what people want.
Yeah, exactly.
Couch tokens.
Yes, people want couch tokens. We'll think about it. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, I think that's probably going to wrap us up on this for right now. So thank you everyone for coming out to this and joining us. We are, as always, Commentary is Magic, and I'm Grandpaws.
Big cheese.
Our cat
Ivory's still here.
is still making problems in Twitch chat.
Yep, as he does. Thank.
Making problems here.
Well, Twitch chat was also making problems. Thank you, everyone, and well done.
Bye-bye, stream.